what we want to do is we want to take in a number from the user, so it can be, for instance, like 3, it could be 4. Let's just say it's 3, okay? Let's just say it's 3. What we want to do is we want to basically create a star for each row, but we want to double the amount of stars we make for each row. Or not double it, but basically want to go outward like this. And we want to do that for the number of rows specified by the user. So as you can see, it could get pretty big if the user specifies like maybe for instance 10 rows. And we want to basically print this in the terminal. So this is a very nice little algorithm for you, something to get the brain jogging a little bit and everything. So hope you enjoy it and see you at the computer.
What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to be doing the dynamic tree algorithm. So what you saw on the whiteboard earlier, that's what I'm going to be doing here. So we're going to create two functions for this. The first function is basically going to be the main function, which is going to just take input from the user, and we're going to actually, based off their input, we're going to basically what I did on the whiteboard. So let's go ahead and do this. So let's say we want user input, oops, and I'll just say input. I can say what size tree do you want? That sounds wrong, but anyways, what size tree do you want? Once we do that, we're going to pass it into another function. So I'll come back to this function. Next, what I want to do is I want to create the actual um, function. So create tree or something. Okay, and then this is going to take in the user input. So we're just going to say size of tree. And so depending on the size of tree, that's going to be the number of actual layers that there will be pretty much. And so we'll just create a variable called increase num. We'll set that to 0 by default. So this is basically going to be the number that we want to increase to the left and to the right when actually like creating this tree. So depending on the size of the tree, um, that means that the number of actual asterisks or stars is always going to be whatever the size. It's always going to be basically 1 plus 2. So it goes 1 to 3 to 5 to 7 to 9, right? So it'll be 9 in the bottom row. So basically, we need to get the size of the actual tree. So in order to do that, we would have to create a quick loop. So depending on the actual what the size of the tree should be, the number of layers, I should just say tree layers instead there. Sorry about that. And um I'm gonna do for I in range tree layers. I'm gonna say the width of tree is gonna start with a 1. And we're just basically going to add 2 each time. And this width is very important. There's a reason why I'm like actually creating a loop to find the true width of the tree. So basically what we're going to do, and because we don't really care about the iteration, we can just do an underscore for that. And then I'm going to do width of tree plus equal to 2. That's it. So once we do that, now what we want to do is we want to take that width of tree and we want to use that to basically like create an array that uses that same amount. So now we want to do for I in range of tree layers. we want to iterate through this array because when we print it, we want to print these. We want to basically print this on the same line, and we want to print it as a tree. So in order to do this, um, we have to first like you'll see what I mean. So I have to think about this for a minute. Let me see. So for I in range of tree layers. So basically, we want to iterate through each time, and we want to take the median. So median is going to be equal to tree layers divided by 2. And then if we get like, for instance, um, we want to import the math library first. Let me actually import that because if we get a number that, for instance, is a decimal, then we want to actually do math.ceiling on it to bring it up to the next number. Because we don't want a median that's like, um, kind of in the middle. Um, well, if it's actually even, it should never be an even number now that I think about it. Let's see. Actually, I don't think I need the width of tree. Let's ignore this for right now. I think what I actually want to do is for I in range of tree layers, we're going to take that whatever I is, for like the layers of the tree, and we're going to say I plus 1. Because see, we want to find the width of the tree first. So we actually want to do, let me get rid of this. I'm going to just say current width. And that's going to be like whatever I is, and then it's going to be, I think it should be, I got to think about this for a second. Mm, I know it should be I plus 1, but then we need to actually like double it. I could say plus 2 times I. So when this is, for instance, 3, this would be a 6 plus 1, which would be 7. So it would be 1. So for instance, it would be 0, which would be the first layer. So that would just be a 1 because 0 plus 1 is 1. Plus 2 times 0, which is obviously 0. For the second layer, it would be 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 2 times 1 is, oh wait, 1 plus 1 is 2. You should always double. Actually, we don't need the current width, I don't think. Because we're just going to be replacing the array. So we do want the width num actually. Let me go all the way back here. I'm just thinking this through. So it's going to be the median of the width of the tree, which should always be an odd number. So we don't need to do math.ceiling on it either. I'm just trying to think this through. So now what I want to do is we want to take the median index pretty much, and we want to set the first starter. So for I in range of tree layers, um, depending on what I is, that's how many we pretty much want to add to each side of that from the middle of the array. So if I, so for now we need to do for j in range of width of tree, I want to do if j is equal to 0, then I want to Well, no, wait, hold on. If j is equal to median minus 1, because remember we started at the 0 index, and then median minus 1 minus I, because remember I starts at 0. So for the first layer, there's not going to be any asterisk before that. But then we want to take j of the array. So we're going to need to define an array here. So I'll just do it up here. Tree array. Oops. And basically what we want to do here is we want to say tree array of j is equal to asterisk like that. And if j is equal to median minus 1, well, we don't need parentheses here. So if j is equal to median minus 1, then I want to do tree array of j is equal to an asterisk. And so you can already tell what the next one should be. Oh wait, this should be minus. This should be plus. Okay. And so now that we have these three cases, this should overwrite the values each time, right? And so then what we want to do is, so after that's all done, each time we iterate through and do that, we want to print it each time. And so basically, if it's not any of these cases above, then we basically want to just print a space character for it. So basically, if it's not equal to any of these cases here. But we don't want to do that and overwrite the previous ones. So what we basically want to do is we want to say if, let's see here, if, and this should technically do it. The increase num, we don't need that anymore either. And let's try it. So for the main function, once we grab the user input, we have to make sure it's a number. So we could just say if user is digit, um, is digit, then we would call this function here. So then we do create tree user input, else you could print something to the user saying, please input a number. So obviously if we do this, then we want to also do a while loop. So we can say, we say keep going is equal to true. And we can just say keep going is equal to false. And wow, keep going. Something like that. Oops. Let's go ahead and run the main function down below to see what we get. So let's say we want a tree of size 3. First, let's type in like something like pizza. It says please input a number. 3. Okay, so we have a error here. All right. 3 layers has to be a number. So let me actually pass in it. Let me try that again. That was embarrassing. All right, let's do 3. Okay. So we have a list index is out of range. Right, right. We have to initialize the array. So right up here, we can initialize the array here with empty, like white space characters, like just a space character. Um, Not like a white space character like that, but we want to actually include a space in order for it to write and everything. Initialize the array. So let's do W and want to say so something like that. So once we initialize it, it should work. So let's run it again. Hmm. All right, I just printed it. I'm getting 3.5 for the median, so we do need to round it up actually. Let's import math again. I'm freestyling this, so part of the development is debugging. Let's go ahead and debug that here. Let's do that again. And so you can see now, well, I think I printed it like that because I'm iterating through each one. But you can see here, we print it each time when we get what we're supposed to get. Now, if I move this outside of the first for loop and put it in the second one, and do that again, let's go ahead and run that. You can see here we get what we're supposed to get. So we can do, for instance, 5. You can see we get one for 5. We can do 10. I hit Shift F10. We can do 10, and we get 10. So this works flawlessly here. So that's basically how you would do this algorithm. I remember when I was back in college, I did this in C, which is another programming language, and I was doing it here. So I just wanted to show you this one. It's pretty nice. Um, the only thing you would probably want to change is you want to iterate through um, and maybe concatenate after you were done. So instead of printing, you could probably create another function, for instance, like format like string, and then you could pass in the tree array. So instead of printing, then we could do, for instance, um, it should be format. Usually the naming convention is to have an underscore to separate words in Python. It's Pascal case naming convention for other languages. So basically what we would do is say incoming. Well, I guess I'll keep the array syntax name convention there. So we'll do incoming array. And what I want to do is I want to have a string. And I basically want to, for I in range incoming array, for each one I just simply want to concatenate each one in the string. So we'll do temp string plus equal incoming array of I. And then when we're done with that, we will print temp string. So now when we run this, we say 3 for instance, we get 3 without that the ugly brackets there and stuff. For instance, if you want to say like 10, you see we get 10 there. Just look how much neater that looks. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you would do that. I hope you liked it. I hope you had fun with it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section. And until next time.